Hello everyone, welcome to 45th day of the war. You know what happened in Seattle? They have installed a human-sized Swami Vivekananda statue. So after the 40th day in my last video to this video shows you what all happened.
History is about to be made.
Sir, maybe we stop the war. Everyone is tired. I'll stop when he opens the strait. Very simple deal. Okay, 1 second.
He says, open the strait, then he stops the war.
The strait was never closed. It is open under our regulations. Tell him to stop the war first. Great news. The strait is open. Wonderful. Now I want the uranium. And then you stop the war? Then I think about it.
He wants the enriched uranium.
No.
Between us, we also have nuclear. After this is done, maybe I share some with you. Just a little.
So basically, Iranian delegates as well as American delegate like the Vice President J.D. Vance and other main important people from United States and Iran have reached the Pakistan to discuss on the Strait of Hormuz and this entire war issue. And Pakistan was doing the mediation, as you have seen in the video. Actually, it didn't work out. They spent 21 hours of time but ended up with very good discussion and fantastic time but no conclusion.
We've been at it now for 21 hours and we've had a number of substantive discussions with the Iranians. That's the good news. The bad news is that we have not reached an agreement.
Because US demands were not accepted by the Iranians and then Iranian demands were not accepted by the United States. And everybody has their own concerns. That's why it didn't work out. Other than that, within the 1 hour of the declaration of the ceasefire, immediately Iran also attacked Israel and Israel also attacked Iran. And President Trump is not completely happy with either parties.
Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. You know, when I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this way. You know what? We basically have two countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
So he said he won't care anymore on the Strait of Hormuz or negotiation. Now United States decided that they're gonna block the Strait of Hormuz, which was previously blocked by Iran.
I don't care if they come back or not. If they don't come back, I'm fine.
And starting this morning, President Trump says the U.S. will blockade ships entering or exiting Iranian ports.
And they were letting go some of the ships to the Strait of Hormuz, but now looks like this is choked by two sides. And this is also put like f of x is greater than f of x. That like people who captured the x, the function of x which captured has been captured by another f, a function another f. So when two people are capturing the Strait of Hormuz, now the issue is bigger. And Iran is clearly saying the world need to wake up and do something about this, right?
The U.S. Navy has now blocked the Strait of Hormuz. No ship can enter the Persian Gulf, nor can any vessel exit. Earlier, when the U.S.-Iran war began, Iran had closed the strait. Then a temporary ceasefire was reached, during which the strait was reopened. Following this temporary ceasefire, negotiations were held in Pakistan, but those talks have now failed. After the failure of these negotiations, the U.S. Navy moved to block the Strait of Hormuz. The United States claims that Iran has been collecting toll taxes from ships passing through the strait, which is strengthening its position. It also alleges that Iran has been exporting oil through a shadow fleet. U.S. further stated that any country paying tolls to Iran would not be allowed to pass through the strait at all. During the 14-day temporary ceasefire, both sides reportedly began preparing for further conflict. U.S. intelligence has claimed that China is continuously supplying weapons to Iran, including missile manufacturing equipment and air defense systems. Donald Trump has further stated that if China provides military assistance to Iran during the ceasefire, a 50% tariff will be imposed on China. However, China has rejected these claims, stating that it is not providing any.
Regarding the Epstein files, a family member from the same presidency, Trump's family member, came out and said Congress needs to focus on the Epstein files and do the necessary action. Here is a video on that.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going.
Now is the time for Congress to act. Epstein was not alone. Several prominent male executives resigned from their powerful positions after this matter became widely politicized. Of course, this doesn't amount to guilt, but we still must work openly and transparently to uncover the truth. I call on Congress to provide the women who have been victimized by Epstein with a public hearing specifically centered around the survivors. Give these victims their opportunity to testify under oath in front of Congress.
And a worker in a warehouse in United States in California. So this guy was not getting paid enough and he got pissed off, and he's an American, so he burned the entire warehouse. They were all toilet papers which were stored in the warehouse, and he clearly made a video that he's not getting paid enough to make a living, and that's why he burned the warehouse.
You know, if you're not gonna pay us enough to fucking live or afford to live, at least pay us enough not to do this shit.
And he got arrested too. During all this is happening, the main beneficiary of the Strait of Hormuz and the Iran is China. China is getting its cheap oil from Iran. That's why China is running. China is also getting choked during this entire process.
Under the circumstances where relevant parties have already reached a temporary ceasefire arrangement, the US increased military deployment and targeted blockade actions will only intensify contradictions, heighten tensions, undermine the already fragile ceasefire, and further impact the safety of navigation in the strait. This is dangerous and irresponsible behaviour.
Addressing that, Trump also said if China is continuing to provide any weapons or army to Iran, then China would also need to face sanctions and also tariffs. He straight away mentioned that he would put 50% of tariff on China because they are supporting Iran. On the other hand, China is completely against this entire closure and control of Strait of Hormuz. Not just that, China also made peace with Taiwan. We have seen in the previous videos like China arranged huge troops of Navy in the Taiwan's region. They had huge formations, and so that they were ready to attack Taiwan at any moment. But now China and Taiwan have become friends just to show that they are making peace, and peace is a way to go. Not just China and Taiwan, even North Korea and South Korea made peace and they became one now too. And in Pakistan, during all this is happening, we have seen Dhurendra and we have seen Operation Sindoor. There are unknown people killing all the terrorists in Pakistan.
Months after his close relatives were killed during Operation Sindoor, Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar's elder brother has died reportedly.
And recently, one of the big terrorists who was being trained and responsible for so many things has also got killed in Pakistan.
Anwar was one of Masood's 5 brothers who was actively involved in Jaish-e-Mohammed's activities for several years. And as per reports, he was in charge of arms training, whereas his brother, Ibrahim Azhar, managed operations in Afghanistan. Masood Azhar is one of India's most wanted terrorists.
So unknown person is killing all the terrorists in Pakistan. So Dhurendra is not over.
And this marks the second incident of a terrorist dying in Pakistan over the last few days itself.
Looks like Dhurendra is still there in Pakistan, and they are making their own impacts.
On the 21st of March, senior Lashkar-e-Toiba commander Chaudhry Bilal Arif was shot and stabbed to death inside the outfit's heavily guarded headquarters in Muridke. Over the last few years, Pakistan has seen a number of terrorists being killed by unknown individuals.
After the ceasefire announcement, Iran didn't stop there. They also hit the flights in Dubai, and that made Dubai services halt and curbed until May 31st. So there are no flights there. That's what the news says. And because of this war impact, Irish petrol bunk stations are all closed. They're out of gas. Observing all this, Canada, who is sitting on northern part of the America, they said they would not be spending any more 70% of the dollar in defense to United States.
The days of our military sending 70 cents of every dollars to the United States are over.
And they will get independent. And Iran also striked Israel. The biggest headquarters, that is called Mossad headquarters, that is a base for military camps. They claim that 1,500 to 2,000 were killed and many thousands were injured during that strike. Trump and JD Vance, when they planned to have dinner in Washington, one of the restaurants, they were clearly kicked out by the restaurant people, saying that Trump is the Hitler of the United States in this moment, and they are asking for peace in Iran. They are clearly facing the black slashes within the country. And Turkey came out and raised their voice. If the peace talk fails and if Pakistan fails to make this mediation for the peace talks, then they would clearly attack Israel. So Turkey is against Israel as well right now as of this moment. And when press asked the ruling party of Iran what happened with the peace negotiation, why are you not ceasefiring, the Khamenei said, we don't have trust in America's negotiation due to unlimited demands of United States. We are just defending. They are the one who is attacking. Why don't you go and ask them to stop the war and whatever United States is doing?
As you know, we didn't start this war. We didn't initiate this war, and we are not initiator of the war. They imposed this war on us, and we started defend ourselves, and also we are ready to defend ourselves.
So they are very clear and transparent on what they are asking for. While this is all happening, there are multiple things going on with the President of the United States. He also went against the Pope and said he don't like him.
We don't like a Pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a Pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. Now, I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
So he released a picture immediately, picturing himself as Jesus Christ. But when press asked him and everybody asked him, why did you do that? Why are you picturing yourself as Jesus Christ? Then he said, it's not Jesus Christ. It's just a doctor trying to save the patients. So that's what he said. Here is a video showing that United States tried to enter into the Strait of Hormuz. They made talking arrangements from ship to ship. And then Iran said we would be attacking, gave a warning, and then they really attacked. And basically US ship sank after the conversations in the Strait of Hormuz. Now United States sent a huge troop to block the Strait of Hormuz, and the blockage is official right now. There are videos on that. China, while this is all happening, they are trying to name zones which are in Indian province. You know, the Arunachal Pradesh, they try to rename it because their whole strategy is first invest in a zone, build their own things there, and then claim that it's their region, and then rename the existing name from Arunachal Pradesh to their own native name.
This is a country whose favorite hobby is renaming Indian territory. China has created a new county in Xinjiang province. Now, this Chinese claimed county sits at the high altitude crossroads. It's where the Karakoram range meets the borders of Afghanistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, and close to India's Ladakh. It's a geopolitically sensitive zone. China has been running this playbook for decades. Here it is, in plain language. Build, name and claim. It's cartographic warfare.
It's very clear that a line has been divided in 1900s, which divides China and India, and Arunachal Pradesh is a part of India. They are making these actions, which were completely doesn't make any sense.
And India's Arunachal is no different. China calls it South Tibet. But the reality is, Arunachal is not South Tibet. It has never been South Tibet.
So that happened between the India and China border, and Indian ships were let go from the Strait of Hormuz for free this time. That shows a strong bond between Iran and India. While this is happening, you know, Ukraine, the war from Ukraine and Russia is still ongoing from few years right now, and Ukraine is going on streets. They are snatching people and recruiting the people to army on the streets. Look at this video. This will make you understand. Even in United States, when it comes to army, federal government said they will start recruiting people automatically who are eligible from this December. So people in United States need to get ready for this automatic recruitment. Whoever is eligible, they will be sent into the army, get trained and participate in the war. So looks like everybody is preparing for the war, and the crisis has begun. If you can see this video here, people from unknown countries are getting in huge number of boats into the lands of Spanish. Maybe it could be Mexico. We are not sure yet, but there are people who are coming off the countries because of this crisis and joining the bigger nations to make their living and survival. This video shows Iran is speaking on the questions of threat from the United States on the Strait of Hormuz.
So how is Tehran responding to that threats from Washington? Thank you.
I think it's not up to Iran to respond to that. The whole international community should respond of such a clear threat against the United Nations Charter. Iran has done nothing wrong. We do not understand why Iran should be attacked for a false accusation that Iran is seeking nuclear weapons. It's now more than 20 years that we are trying to prove that our peaceful nuclear program is in fact peaceful. and would remain peaceful.
China clearly said if you block the Chinese ships on the Strait of Hormuz, they would be joining the war and they will be there in the Strait of Hormuz as of day 45th of the war. Modi put a tweet that he has spoken with the United States because they blocked the Strait of Hormuz, right? On a phone call, the current situation and made ties even stronger. These are all the updates for date 45 of the war. I hope you are all updated and these videos are exclusive.
ख्वाजा आसिफ साहब ने कहा हम तो अमेरिका के बगैर रह ही नहीं सकते, वो तो वेंटिलेटर है हमारा, हम घुटनों पे आ जाएंगे अगर अमेरिका ने कोई कदम उठा लिया। ऐसे भी अगर करेंगे तो फिर कहां
अपना जो गरीबों को उनको पढ़ा लिखा कर काबिल बनाना है।
As of today, there are many YouTube videos, there are many shorts which were been banned by YouTube, but this video has those videos which are even blocked. This video especially that you are watching is exclusive. These videos you're not going to get in any YouTube channel or any other video. So make sure you watch this regularly and keep up to date yourself on the ongoing war issues, and hope you like this video. Meet you all soon in the next war video. Thank you.